It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and if this is the first time you're joining us, I like to do Hero Wars videos for the mobile and Facebook platform. And if you like my videos and you're a new player, go ahead and hit that like button if you feel that this video is helpful. That way, YouTube gets my videos in front of new players just like you. Now, this video is Teamfight Tuesday, and Teamfight Tuesday has usually been reserved for the heroes of the month. That is the hero soul stones that you can get from just logging in every day. However, with Lian being changed on mobile over Winterfest and then changed on Facebook just recently, I thought that I would go ahead and do a Teamfight Tuesday dedicated to her. This team is very strong. I find it extremely interesting how well this team does, and I thought that I would do a proper video. I know I did this on a live stream earlier last week or the week before, but I thought I'd do a proper YouTube video so it's easy to find here on YouTube instead of Twitch. So with that being said, let's get into the first team. And as you can see here, I'm going up against my classic Karkh team. That is Astaroth, Bob, Nebula, Faceless, and Martha. The team that I'm using, the Lian team that I'm using, the Aurora, Celeste, Jorgen, Faceless, Lian team is what I would consider to be one of the strongest Lian teams. Now, I don't have a big sample size, but as you can see here, it tears up my Bob team pretty effectively. And taking a look at the damage, you can see that Lian and Faceless is holding Karkh to below 1 million damage, and that's really the key to beating a good Bob team, is keeping Karkh's damage low. So using a Fox to blind him, using stuns, using Lian's sleep, that's going to be the way to do it. And you can see that none of my hitters did over 1 million damage, and the reason for that is because this is more of a stall team. This is more of a control, grind you down over time team. Okay, so next team that I like to try is Tim's Karkh team. That is swapping out Martha for Helios. He feels that this is the strongest Karkh team, just like I feel that the Martha Nebula version is the strongest Karkh team. However, they just can't stop the grind. It doesn't look good. Aurora is really good against mages, which doesn't help Helios's case at all. But you can see here that held Karkh to even lower damage, and that's partly because a little bit of the damage was spread out between Karkh, Helios, and Faceless. Okay, so success there. Now let's talk about some Twins teams. The first Twins team that I like to do is the simple Galahad, Nebula, Martha variant. I'm a really, really big fan of tank, Nebula, Martha base teams. Unfortunately, Faceless's group magic defense, Aurora's magic damage shield that she does, and just a combination of the opposing team doing massive damage to everyone, causing Lian to sleep multiple heroes at once. It's a very difficult fight for the Twins teams, and you can see here, first hitter to do more than 1 million damage is Lars here. However, Lian did over 1 million herself, which she's not a hitter. So your control heroes shouldn't be doing that much damage, but she is. So next Twins team that I like to do is the Celeste Jorgen team. Please let me know down in the comments if these two Twins teams or those two Bob teams or any of these teams are what you would consider quote unquote the best or the meta teams. Because the Karkh teams and the Twins teams are the most popular, the most prevalent, I like to do 2 versions of each in these Teamfight Tuesday videos. But if you feel that there's a better Twins team I should be trying out, then I absolutely will. Of course, this max testing on Facebook, I've done more than just these fights. These are just some of the fights that I thought was worth talking about. So next, I like to try the Tim's Satori team, and this is another one of those teams that I would love some input on. What do you guys feel is a better Satori team? I thought this team was going to have a chance because of Jorgen's bonus energy, being very poor against Satori. However, this is kind of an anti-mage team, and Jorgen lasts the longest because he's kind of tanky. But again, that team falls, and again, the opposing team's hitter held to under 1 million damage. So what you're going to start to see here is you need a team that can do enough damage fast enough to kill the healer of Celeste, to kill Lian in the back. And, as I get to the end of this video, you're going to see the teams that are going to do well against this because, Hero Wars is rock, paper, scissors. Not every team is the best team. This team seems to be really, really effective against slow damaging teams like Karkh teams and mage teams like Twins or the Dorian Orion Helios team here. Just very strong against that archetype. It's just how it is. Whenever we start to deal with some of these physical teams here, whenever I looking at Kiera, Kiera is usually one of the more aggressive hitters in the game, but you got to kill the team faster. Otherwise, they're just going to grind you down. And this is the lowest damage I think that I've ever seen Kiera do in one of these Teamfight Tuesdays. Kiera's Dancing Blade ability hitting Lian, which procs Lian's sleep on her, just crushes her damage output. And I think that's what it is. I think heroes that have standard, blue or green abilities that are randomly activated that hit everyone on the opposing team, like Lars's Chain Lightning ability or Kiera's Dancing Blade ability here. I think those abilities that they're not designed to do killing blows or just designed to do, consistent output damage. I think that's going to do very poorly against this Lian team because of, Lian's ability to put heroes asleep that hit her. Yeah, so this is where I start to get a little bit of anti-team action going on. So who is really good at hitting weak backline heroes? Ju. So Ju drops Lian, he drops Faceless next, and then it's only a matter of time before the rest of the team just gets destroyed. So first damage screen here, you can see that Ju did almost 2 million damage, which is ridiculous against this team. But I didn't want to give up. I didn't want, there's a way to beat this Ju team. So I thought, okay, so the main weakness to this Ju team is a weak rear hero. So the first thing that I did was I swapped out Celeste for Martha, which pushed Lian forward. And Martha's a much tankier healer than Celeste. However, this was not a good enough team to overcome that Ju team because Martha is consistent healing over time for the whole team, whereas Celeste is very strong single target healing. So it's not what this team needed. So then I wanted to switch to Helios instead of Martha, and thinking that this could block the crit damage of Ju and Sebastian a little bit more effectively. You can see that Ju even did more damage, 2.5 million, and Sebastian stepping up and almost doing 1 million damage. That's kind of cool. So swapping out one hero for this team isn't going to do it. What I ended up having to do was I had to swap out Celeste for Martha, and I had to swap out Jorgen for Helios. So what I initially had hoped with this team is that I could swap out the healer to a different healer, or swap out the control, Jorgen, to a different control, Helios in this instance, in order to beat the other teams in the meta, like this Ju team. Unfortunately, it took me swapping out 2 heroes in order to defeat this Ju team. And I think that, 7 heroes to level up is okay. I would just prefer to keep it at 6 so I can, I'm sorry. Well, I guess swapping out 1 hero at a time. That way I could focus on really bringing up 4 to 5 heroes, and then only 1 to 2 instead of having 3 to 4 alternates here. But you can see that swapping out Celeste and Jorgen for Martha and Helios did the trick. Finally beat that Ju team, and then finally one last kind of showing of this little team. This Lian team being more of a defensive team, more of a slow damage over time team, a grind you down kind of team. You're gonna want more damage dealers on your team. So if you're going up against a team like this, a team with multiple tanks, or a team with multiple healers, or a team with multiple controls, or a mixture of any of those that does low damage output. Okay, there's no single hitter on this team that does a lot of damage. Faceless here, you can see, did the most damage, and Faceless really isn't a hitter. He's not a damage dealer. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to swap out your tank for a tough frontline damage dealing hero like Ishmael or Ju or King Mao, or Karkh to an extent can be defensive. That's what you're going to want to do to beat a team like this, a timeout team or a heavily defensive team. You know, I hope you found this. I hope you found this video interesting or informational, helpful. If you like this video series, I've got a couple other videos shown here. I've got the Team Fight Tuesday with my personal Bob team, and I also have the Team Fight Tuesday from 2 weeks ago. That is the Twins meta team. So if you like this video series and you got a couple more minutes, why don't you click on one of those and watch that next. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.